Well, it's time now for Perspective. My guest today is Baky Meïté, former captain of the Ivory Coast rugby team and author of Les Chiffons Bleus, the book that takes us back to the first COVID lockdown of spring 2020 here in France, when the author left his career as a rugby player behind to take up a position as a janitor in a hospital here in Paris. Baky, take us back to that time. Why was it important for you to take up this position at that hospital in the 16th arrondissement here in Paris?
It was an opportunity for me. I didn't expect to go to the hospital and do the job, but someone of the family asked my sister if she knows someone ready to work in the hospital as a janitor or something. And me and my nephew just took the shot and said, okay, let's go. And the next morning, we were on the table signing the contract and starting to work as a cleaning person in the hospital.
How much of an adjustment was that for you? You played rugby here in France, captain of Ivory Coast back at home, but you had a career before you started playing rugby. So was it difficult for you to transition back to working as a civilian, so to speak?
Not that difficult because, like you said, I had a career before to be a rugby player, so I knew what was to go to the work, like 9 to 5 p.m. work. So, like I said, it was just an opportunity, and I just said, okay, let's go. I didn't think, I didn't even know where was the hospital and what's gonna be the work. We just said, like, let's go, and we did it.
And you describe it as an opportunity, but for many people, I think that would have been quite a difficult experience. Take us back to how it was for you when you were working there in the hospital.
It was harassing. It was very, very difficult because it was 2 buildings with several levels, and I had to do every level, and I had to do every day the same thing, every day the same circuit. I have to go on all the floor to watch, to clean the doors, the ramps, everywhere, and every day the same thing. I was walking more than 10 kilometers per day, so it was really, really harassing.
And just from what you've said in the book, it seems that you developed a real bond with the people that you were working with.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of them. Who kind of stands out in your mind looking back now?
Some of them remind me my mother, because it was my mother's job for 30 years. So, yeah, of course, I was really, really close to them. They were like sort of my family after those several months. And it was like a small world in the hospital with the people who's there for cleaning and the people, the nurse and the doctors and the nurse. Everyone is really, really tight together, and it's a small world. And I have the privilege to be here and to watch this, and I was really, really happy to do it.
And if we go back again to that first lockdown, hospital staff, nurses, doctors, they were applauded from balconies here in France and Italy, around the world, really. Do you think the way that we're looking at medical staff, it's changed at all since then?
I don't think so. They're back to the normality, and they're quite anonymous now since the COVID stepped down a little bit. So it was really, really important to show them some love at this time. But today, I think everything's back to normal.
Would it be fair to say that that's perhaps why you wrote the book? Did you want to draw attention to the work that people who are in our hospitals, to all that they had been doing during the pandemic and even right up until today?
Exactly, exactly. After my first day, I took some notes, and I took notes every day, every night after the day, and I didn't know what I was going to do with that note, but the idea grew up in my mind, and I decided to write a book about it. And yeah, 2 years after, it's just like an anniversary. 2 years later, and I wanted to put back the light on them and to show they're still there. And I decided to do it during the pandemic but those people doing this for like years and years, so they're the real hero. I'm not a hero, so I wanted to put them on the light.
And it was a very difficult time for hospital staff, but also for the patients who were there at that time. So much uncertainty. They didn't have visitors coming into them. Back then, we weren't sure what COVID was exactly, what the future would be. Tell us how it was for the patients that you met as well.
The loneliness was really, really present in the hospital, and they were locked down in the room, no visitors, like you said, and it was really, really difficult for them. And every time I step in the door, I was trying to understand the people in the room, the people in the bed, and I was like, oh, maybe she have some family. She haven't seen them for weeks and weeks, and I was quite sad for them. And I was trying to make eye contact with them and stuff like that, just to feel just a quick moment with them. And I was trying to feed my spirit with that.
And how did you deal with those kind of emotions that you must have felt during that time? I know you've spoken about it as an opportunity, but it must have been a difficult thing to do for you as well, to go into the hospitals and to be surrounded by that at that time.
Yeah, it was. And it was, I don't know if you say in English, geriatric hospital for old people. And people, they were literally dying days after days. And yeah, it wasn't that, it was quite difficult, but I tried to focus on the job, focus on the people I was working with, and despite that, it was a lot of joy in the meeting room before everyone start his job, and I was really, really happy with that moment.
And what would you take from that going forward? Your rugby career, it's now finished. What's the future for you? Do you see yourself going into a caring kind of position, or working in hospitals again, or what do you
I don't know. I don't know. I really enjoy writing this book, so I'm pretty sure I will write some other books in the future, and I still have contact with people I work with back in this hospital. So I'm not sure yet, but for sure I will try to do some experiences like that in the future.
Well, I can't let you go without a very quick word on the Rugby World Cup, which is coming up in France later. Ivory Coast, sadly, are not in the competition this year. What do you think is going to happen there? You're supporting France, I presume.
Yeah. We qualify for the quarterfinal in the Africa zone, and if we win the Africa zone, we go to the World Cup. So we are like 3 games away from the World Cup here in France. I'm pushing really, really hard behind my former colleagues, but it will be a great honor for Ivory Coast to participate to the 2023 World Cup here in France.
There's still hope. Thank you so much for joining us, Baky Meïté, former captain of Ivory Coast.
Thank you.
And the author of Les Chiffons Bleus.
Thank you.